Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. So this episode, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't bad. Orpheus was in it, and every time Orpheus is in an episode, I just love seeing him on screen. Same thing yesterday. Leo was there, and Leo made the episode a lot better. So going into this episode, I don't know what the hell they were doing with Jace's character. But whatever they were doing, they need to stop. Okay. She was pissing me off so much when she started giving Steve the riot act because, he had to sit there and try to save these women. He had to do it. Um, you couldn't sit there and call the cops. And he told her that. He was like, yo, listen, I didn't have time. Oh, well, you could have sit there and called a bomb squad and this, that, and the third. And, you should have trusted law enforcement. And here's the thing that always pisses me off when people give lectures like that. Okay, because they'll be the first person to suddenly change their tune when their loved one is in danger. They'll preach left and right. Oh, you should have called the police. You should have called. Okay, let's have him kidnap one of your loved ones. I want to see you give that same energy. Okay, that was the part that was pissing me off the whole time when she kept giving Steve the riot act, and even Kayla was like, "Yo, listen, I'm alive because of him." Oh, well, but you couldn't have been. You're not a part of the ISA anymore. It was like, oh my god, seriously? I was so angry. I was like, what are you doing to this character right now? Okay. Same thing with Rome. She came in there and she started giving him the same riot act. And he was like, yo, listen, we didn't have time. Okay. Orpheus literally said, if we called a cop, yeah, I heard it from Steve. And I was like, okay, so why are we having this conversation for? Okay, well, why are we having this conversation for? You just heard it from another person, and yet you're still procedure. At one point, I was just like, oh my god, seriously, and it just didn't stop for a hot minute. Here's the thing: when Kate was talking about celebrating Rome's birthday, and Eric was like, no, we gotta sit there and celebrate it, and they asked her to join. And, she was like, happy birthday. And the minute that she smiled, I was just like, well, what was I mad about again? I don't remember. It's amazing. This woman can piss me off. And at the same time, the minute that she smiles, I'm just like, you know what? I don't even know what I was saying. I don't even think it was really that important. She just has that effect. Oh my god. Now, John and Marlena really weren't doing too much. They were just in the bed the entire time, and it's unfortunate because I do like those two characters. So for them to just not really do too much of anything with them just seems a waste and kind of insulting, to be honest. Now, Stephanie was talking to Paulina and Abe, and bottom line, Abe is too nice. Okay? The poll shows that he's just too nice and that they don't feel he's going to be, hard and firm on some of the issues that is going on, with the world and the state and stuff like that. But they're like, Paulina's numbers are doing great. Which is odd because I'm just like, why did you put Paulina's number? Like, why did you? I don't know how these polls work, but I just don't understand how Paulina got involved in these numbers. Bottom line, Paulina's numbers is way past Abe. And Stephanie was trying to say without actually saying Paulina should run for governor. Now after Stephanie left, Abe convinced her to run for governor. And at first she wasn't too sure, and she was like, this is something that I wanted you to do. In reality, Abe was like, this is always something that you really want to do. Like, you've been pushing this for a while. and you want to sit there and try to repay back, all the stuff that you did, this is the way to do it. And he convinces her to run. So I don't know how they're gonna do that. Because I think Kayla or Marlena, John was not there saying that, when they gotta sit there and start doing these campaign trails or whatever, um, they're not gonna be in Salem to do it. So I'm like, I guess some actors are gonna be going on vacation for a little bit. I don't know. Um, be kind of interesting to see how that whole thing plays about. Now Stephanie did come to see Steve and Kayla. And at first, Stephanie was angry at Steve. Oh, you didn't tell me, da 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 da. But after they explained to her, she calmed down about why Steve didn't tell her. And at first, she came and was like, "Oh, you're doing this to protect me." No. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be mean. I'm really not. But Steve was like, "No, no, no. This is about Kayla, Marlena, and Kate. That has the thing to worry about. And we couldn't tell anyone." So the unfortunate part about that whole scene afterwards is that she didn't bother to apologize for her running in there with that level of energy. I didn't hear her, oh, you're right, and I'm sorry. It was just like, she calmed down, but I was like, I want to hear those words. I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't care if you got to do it in another language. Pick something and do it. Um, so, or, no, Ruff is not there giving Shin updates about his progress with Stefan. And he hears somebody who's like, oh, it's probably Kristen or whatever, trying to, have me rush stuff or whatever, so I'll call you back. He turns around, it's Orpheus. Orpheus comes in there, and after his little intimidation speech or whatever, they get down to bit. Well, they sort of get down to business. Actually, tell you the truth, I'm like, why is Orpheus coming across as the Riddler once again? So after he tells Ruff that, yeah, I know that Stefan's behind the curtain, and I know that you're brainwashing him. I don't know how he knows that. I guess he must have been sitting to listen on this conversation a lot longer. After that, he's like, you probably got a lot of toys and all these different great achievements that you've done somewhere in his lab. I'm pretty sure we can find something. So I'm wondering, are you going to sit here and try to blackmail him into getting him, help into doing something to, his enemies or whatever? That's what I'm sitting there when I was like, you're going to blackmail him, right? Now, in reality, he already found what he needed. I guess it's some sort of um, poison or virus or something. Whatever it was, towards the end of the episode, you got Steve, Kayla, and Stephanie, along with Rome, because it's like three scenes. You got them, then you got Rome, Kate, Jada, and Eric, and you got Marlena and John. Now, all three women, Marlena, Kate, and Kayla, sneeze. And at the end of the episode, Orpheus like, right now they thought that they got off easy and they're celebrating their happiness and their health. But you know what? By the time I'm done with them, they're gonna wish that they let that bomb go off. Now, I get what he's saying. A fast death is a lot better than a slow, agonizing death. Um, Now the part, when I really look at this whole scene, I'm like, Orpheus already had what he needed. He already did the stuff that he needed to do. So what was the point of him coming back in there and being like, "Oh yeah, I already know about this I already know about this lab," and I don't understand what was the point of all the games and the misdirect if he already had what he needed and he already did what he needed to be done. I guess the only thing that I can think of is that once he tells Roth, well, I mean, after Roth knows what he used, maybe he's thinking about a counteragent. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because to be honest, I don't really understand the point of having him, um, having a scene with Orpheus and Roth. I really don't see it. And when I really think about it, this scene is even more useless than Marlena and John, because at least with them, Marlena was sitting there hoping that everything was over. She had a lot of wishful thinking, and John was like, well, listen, he's not just going to let us go that easy. And, they're thinking that they're all happy and snug in their beds and just, false sense of security is what it really comes down to. So as much as I really love Orpheus, I'm just like, bro, your scene was more pointless than those two, and they were in the bed. Like, when you really think about it, just think about that, okay? Trust me, it blows me too, but that's just the reality of it. I feel like that's about it. I really do. I feel like that's about it. Now, what I will sit there and say that even though this episode wasn't super amazing, this episode was good because it's setting up a lot of suspense for what Orpheus has planned with, John and Marlena, John and Rome and Kate. And John, Rome, and Steve. Because at the end of the day, he wants to make them suffer. He wants to make all three of them suffer. And the best way to cause maximum damage is to hurt their loved ones. So, seems like it's going to be pretty good for the next couple of days. For the next couple of days. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see everyone in the next video.